So this week we are discussing cultural similarities to Pacific Island populations. And after watching the 60 Minutes documentary, something that I learned about the American Samoan culture that I didn't know beforehand was that two-thirds of the culture live below the poverty level, and that the average yearly income is $4,000 a year. Which, if you think about that, what $4,000 a year wouldn't get you anything pretty much in the state of California, let alone in Monterey County. Um, but you look at how they live and how much money they make, but they still seem to have so much heart and so much dedication. Um, and I think that is one of the big things that sets those high school football players apart from American high school football players. Um, they learn to play, they learn to love the game, it seems like, and they don't have the same fancy football fields, the fancy equipment, the weight room and stuff that the American teams have. But I mean, they still seem like they are a force on the football field. But like they said, that's they're built to play football. Um, an example of heritage consistency that I saw was the war dance that is showed in the beginning of the video that the football team did prior to games. I didn't really see an example of health protection and health restoration, but I did see an example of, I guess, health maintenance would be they grow their own food. They're an island, they're secluded, so they probably a majority of their food comes from the farming. Excuse me, and I mean, and they said that they're a farming culture, um, and probably excuse me, the football is probably also health maintenance to for exercise, and they're starting to incorporate that into the younger kids. And question number 4, I don't really think that I do anything. I'm not very heritage consistent, um, but I don't think that um, that there's anything that I do that hasn't been assimilated. And I think living where we live, there's a huge Mexican population. So I think a lot of it, kind of the Mexican and the American, it kind of blends together, so everyone does the same. And but yeah, that was a really interesting documentary. And it's funny because my husband and I were having a conversation about this probably a couple weeks ago, and we started looking at where American Samoa was, and it really is a paradise. It's so pretty. Um, so yeah, that's it.